those. So I talk about in the book this framework. It's called the super model, SUPER. Super is an acronym. Just very quickly, it's start with your story, understand your customer story, personalize, exceed expectations, and repeat. And that is the operating model that I advise all companies to have across the board, right? Whatever department you're in. And the reason start with your story comes first is because that really does have to be the foundation of everything else. Like, who are we? Not who are we this quarter, not who are we this week, this promotion, this holiday, but who are we? Because customers buy what you do, super fans buy who you are. These are people who say, I like you. And
Mhm.
even if it means paying a little bit more, driving a little bit further, going out of my way a little bit, this is the solution for me. So that's the first part, is figuring it out. Start with your story. You understand your customer story is all about those things that you're talking about. The actively listening, having the true empathy that precedes the authority of understanding what your customers need, what they're about. Because the reality is, you're not going to be right for everybody. There are millions of people who cannot stand Taylor Swift for one reason or another. You think she cares a whole lot about that? Maybe as a human, maybe like her human emotions, she's like, I don't understand how somebody who's never met me can hate me. But as a brand, she's doing okay. She was able to become a billionaire and then some based on the people that she was right for. So, too often, brands and businesses aren't like super clear on who they're trying to target. So, they have these very basic, ignorable marketing messages that don't
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
appeal to anyone. And I always say the biggest threat to your business is not a lack of awareness. Plenty of people know who you are, they just don't care because you haven't given them a reason to. It's not a lack of awareness, it's the presence of apathy. And what you have to do to convert prospective customers into first time customers, and then first time customers into long time customers, and long time customers into super fans, is you've got to overpower that apathy. You've got to be so good that they can't wait to come back. And then, oh, by the way, they can't wait to tell their friends why their friends should check you out too. And again, that's exactly like what I was talking about on the music side, right? It's how do I make this so good that people want to come back and bring their friends? And I do not care what industry you're in. There is not a single product or service on this planet that could not make more money and do a better job for your customers by looking at your business through the lens of over delivering on the customer experience. I do not care what you do. I had a gentleman who read my book probably a month ago now, and he reached out to me. He works in the funeral services industry. He's been in the funeral services industry for 40 years. And he said, I feel like you wrote this book for me. And
Hmm.
now I want to take what I learned and go out and teach everybody who works in the funeral services industry of what they need to do to turn every family member into a super fan. And I have lots of other like crazy examples of industries. Industrial concrete polishing. That's another one. I did not know industrial concrete polishing was a thing until a gentleman in Iowa who read my book told me how he couldn't wait to take the principles of creating superfans into his industrial concrete polishing business and have everyone on his team know that their job is to turn these like plant managers and hospital facilities operators who are choosing the concrete polisher to choose them and not their competitors.